guys, this is Jonathan with another video for YouTube channel Crazy Shadow 303, and in this video I am going to review the new 2017 Formula 1 cars. Now, all the teams have launched their cars. In fact, 3 teams launched them only today, ready for testing at the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona tomorrow. So let's get straight into it. First off, very first team to give us a glimpse of the new cars was Williams. Now, they only done it in an online preview, but it shows the differences in regulations from last season. Most notably, there's a huge shark fin on the back of the engine block. Now, this isn't every team's design. There is one team in particular, which we'll get to later, that does not have this shark fin feature. But it kind of reminds you of a few years ago when they had those platypus shaped nose cones, where the front wing had to be so high off the floor. And to conform to it, most teams, apart from McLaren, had those stupid little platypus noses. So this is the feature, the main feature for the 2017 cars, this little shark fin on the back of the engine cover. Next team to launch their car was Sauber with the Sauber C36. Now, this one shows the different shape in the front wing. It's got a small curve there, and of course the shark fin there. Now, what this one shows you that the Williams one doesn't is exactly how thick the new Pirelli tyres are going to be. Now, I don't know the exact measurements, but the new regulations stated that Pirelli had to make thicker tyres. Pirelli did want to do the testing not at Barcelona but at Bahrain, so that they could test their new tyres in warm weather. Now, obviously they're going to test in Barcelona tomorrow, and I believe there's going to be a mid-season test just after the Bahrain Grand Prix, so before all the major hot weather of the year starts arriving. Also with this Sauber, you notice the new blue and gold and white livery. I mean, it was solid blue last season, so they've updated their livery. This isn't the team with the most drastic livery change, we'll get to that later, but as you can see, they've updated their livery. Next team to launch their car was the Renault with their RS17. Now, this shows a full curve of the front wing, and it just gives you an idea as to what the regulations wanted the cars to look like. It looks more aggressive looking than the 2016 cars. Also, all the shark fins don't have to be square, they've got this small curve just at the end of the shark fin, so it's more streamlined than the Williams or the Sauber. Next car, they didn't, also I should add, they didn't change their livery too much, they still kept with the yellow and black. Next one was Force India with the VJM10. Now, yeah, their shark fin again is more sharper, and well, there's not really much difference between this car and the Renault or the Sauber, except for this little bump in the nose cone where they've dropped it down. Again, you know, this is similar to those platypus nose cones from a few years back. Yeah, so that's Force India. Next one was Mercedes. Now, Lewis Hamilton has already driven a few laps with this car, and this really shows you the curve of the front wing. Right? Well, that was misaligned, but still. Yeah, major curve of the front wing, and this is the only car out of 2017 to not have a full shark fin. See, most of them are out here, you know, but Mercedes has opted for this smaller shark fin. Don't know why. It may help them, it may not, we don't know. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. Also, smaller rear wing than the 2017 cars. And of course, the thickness of the tyres. Now these are obviously the wet weather tyres that he's running. So yeah, hopefully that will bring Lewis Hamilton. I would personally love it if Lewis Hamilton can bring a 4th world title back to the UK. You know, he got pretty close last season, and we all know what happened in the last race. You know, with Rosberg in second and Hamilton going as slow as he possibly could. You know, but you got to do what you got to do to win the title, and in my opinion, he did everything legally that he could do. It's just a shame that we won't be able to see Lewis against Nico again, as Nico is obviously retired. As soon as he won the first world title, he retires. Strange that. Anyway, on to Ferrari. Now, like with Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, Kimi Räikkönen has already done a few laps of testing with this car. Now, its most striking difference against the other teams is on the back of his shark fin, and Vettel's obviously, they've got this third wing. Now, it looks like it's about to take off. You know, maybe that would help them, maybe it'll benefit them, we don't know. You know, more wings, more aerodynamic, you know. Also, they've got higher side pods and air intakes to the rest of the cars. Like their side pods look more aggressive looking, and obviously a huge air intake valve above the driver's head. So that is Ferrari. Good luck to them. I'm predicting third, and I'll tell you why later. Here we have the team that has the most drastic change to their livery. This is the McLaren MCL 32. Now, as well as the livery change, it's gone the silver, red and white. Gone is the black from last year, the solid black. We have orange, black with white trim. Now, you know, it looks good. This should be the car that gets McLaren back to where it was like 15 years ago. And I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh. Yeah, so compared to the Ferrari, it has a smaller intake. Obviously it's got its shark fin there and the curved nose cone. But yeah, this is the car that I reckon will help McLaren get back to where they are. You know. So that's that one. Oh, also what I was going to say. Gone is the MP4 from the name. You know, the traditional MP4 at the start of McLaren's car's name, like MP41, MP42, etc. No, it's the MCL 32, not MP4. So a change in livery and a change in traditional name. Now we have the team that I reckon will finish in second. Red Bull. like with the following two teams I'm going to show you, Red Bull only launched their new car today, the RB13, and they've even got a motto, RB13, unlucky for some. They are hoping it's unlucky for Mercedes mainly. You know, again, shark fin, you know, bigger wheel, bigger tyres rather, curve around there. But yeah, I don't know, it's compared to last season where Mercedes just blew away the competition. Red Bull is going to give them a fight this year. That's my prediction. Red Bull and Mercedes are going to be at it. Ferrari a distant third. That's what I reckon. You know, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments section, because I reckon this is the team that is going to get back to winning ways without Sebastian Vettel. And if anyone is going to beat Mercedes to the Drivers' Championship, I reckon it's going to be Red Bull. Now, apologise for the quality in this next picture, because it was really small and I had to zoom right in to get it to decent size. But this is the Haas VF17. They launched this car today as well, and there's not really much about this car that I haven't already said about other teams' cars. You know, the usual curve around the front wing, you know, the tyres, and of course the shark fin, which has got a little curve there. You know, Grosjean, he's going to do good in this car, but I reckon Haas will be mid-table at best. You know. And last but not least, they've literally only just launched this car, is Toro Rosso. Now, gone is the dark blue that confused it with Red Bull. They've gone for a lighter blue in their livery with the red trim. Now, last season you couldn't tell, well, I couldn't tell at least, because they were both dark blue, you couldn't tell Toro Rosso from its parent team, Red Bull. So at least now we'll be able to tell which car is a Red Bull and which car is a Toro Rosso. But again, shark fin there, smaller rear wing like with all the cars because of the regulations, and curve round the front wing. Yeah, so that is all the cars, and yeah, so in my opinion, now there's only 10 teams because Manor have liquidated, so there's only going to be 20 cars on the grid. Now my prediction, I know it's early days, but my prediction for the final standings is going to be Sauber in 10th, Renault in 9th, Haas in 8th, Toro Rosso 7th, McLaren or Force India 4th or 5th. I cannot separate them two. Will it 4th or 5th? I mean 6th or 5th. Apologise. 6th or 5th. Mercedes, Force India or McLaren. Williams, I reckon, will be 4th. Ferrari 3rd. Red Bull 2nd. And Mercedes with Lewis Hamilton taking his 4th world title. That's my prediction. If you disagree, then please say in the comments, who do you think will win the driver's title, the constructor's title, and also what do you think the final standings will be. So that is all the cars right there. Now we get on to driver lineups. Now, of course, with Nico Rosberg retiring, all winter it's been who's going to replace him, who's going to be the one to partner Hamilton in the second Mercedes. And of course, Mercedes has signed Valtteri Bottas from Williams. Now, Hamilton will definitely get on better with Bottas than he did with Rosberg. I don't see a repeat of last season's Spanish Grand Prix when both Mercedes went careering into each other. You know, that's just not going to happen this year. So I reckon Bottas is a good partner for Hamilton. None of the off-track bullshit, so to speak. Hamilton and Bottas, good partnership. And out of the top three teams, that is the only change, because Red Bull have stuck with Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen in their first full season as teammates. If you remember, at the end of the Russian Grand Prix last year, they replaced Verstappen from Toro Rosso with Daniel Kvyat. And the very next race, thanks to Hamilton and Rosberg colliding with each other in part, but mostly because of Verstappen's awesome driving, Verstappen won the very next race, his very first race with Red Bull. So I am glad that Red Bull have decided to keep that partnership of Ricciardo and Verstappen. That is why I reckon Red Bull will finish second. Ferrari have kept Vettel and Raikkonen. Maybe this is going to be Raikkonen's final season. I don't know. You know, it's what I've heard. Maybe Raikkonen is going to retire at the end of the season. I could be wrong. But an all championship drivers champion lineup: Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen. Nothing new there. We all knew Ferrari were going to stick with them too. But yeah, it may be Kimi's final season in F1. For Force India, Sergio Perez has been promoted to number one driver, with Nico Hülkenberg leaving, and Esteban Ocon. Now, I believe he was with Manor last season. Now, obviously, there is no Manor this season, so he needed a drive somewhere, and he is a hot prospect. I'll tell you that. My opinion, he's a future world champion, just not yet. Not with the talent that's on this grid this season. Force India, Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon, mid-table again. That's my prediction. Williams is quite a story, because we all know Massa retired at the end of last season. Then Bottas leaves to go to Mercedes. So Williams are down two drivers. So what do? They ask Massa to come back for one more year. And they bring in a completely inexperienced driver to partner him. But if you're going to learn from anyone, why not learn from one of the best? Not the best, just one of the best. So Massa out to retirement, Lance Stroll, newbie. It could be interesting. I mean, let's see how Williams do. You know, might be another Williams Force India toss-off for mid-table or fourth, you know, but that's it. McLaren sticks with Fernando Alonso, and the guy that replaced him when he had that massive crash in the first round of last season, Stoffel Van Dorn. And to be fair, in his only race last season, he was in the points. He finished 10th and got 1 point for McLaren. So with Jenson Button retiring from racing, well, I'll explain in a bit, but he retired from competitive racing. Fernando Alonso, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Jenson Button is the test driver, the reserve driver. He hasn't fully retired, he's just McLaren's reserve driver. So fair play to him. It's like Van Dorn and Button have just swapped roles. Toro Rosso, they have kept Carlos Sainz and Daniel Kvyat, again with Red Bull, their first full season in this, new regulation era together. Nothing new there, Sainz, Kvyat, Toro Rosso, trying to break into Red Bull, even though Kvyat already broke into Red Bull and then went right back to Toro Rosso. There's nothing new there, nothing to shout about. Mid-table again. Haas, they've kept Roman Grosjean and they've got Kevin Magnussen from Renault. Now that will be an interesting partnership, I reckon, because Grosjean and Magnussen, two really good drivers, up and coming drivers. Okay, they have both made mistakes in their career. Grosjean with that huge crash at Spa a few years ago, which took out Alonso and Hamilton, and he got banned for the Italian Grand Prix. Yep, okay, he's over that. Kevin Magnussen with the crash at Spa again last year. Now, he was, it's a testament to today's safety measures in Formula 1 that he was able to literally walk away from that crash, because I seen that crash on TV and oh my days, that was like one of the worst crashes I'd ever seen, bar from the late Jules Bianchi in Japan the year before. Well, Grosjean, Magnussen, yeah, I reckon they will finish above Toro Rosso. Maybe not above McLaren, but there we go. Definitely above Toro Rosso, I reckon. Renault, Jolyon Palmer stays where he is as number 2 driver. Nico Hülkenberg comes from Force India. Now, he's got the experience to help Palmer, but I reckon that's about it. Jolyon's a good guy. He's one of only 2 now British-based drivers on the grid. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton being the other one. But yeah, nothing to shout out about. And then we've got Sauber. They've kept Marcus Ericsson, they've released Felipe Nasr, and they've brought in Pascal Wehrlein from Manor. So Wehrlein along with Ocon, they both have got drives for this year. Both ex-Manor drivers have got drives for this year. So I am glad about that, but it's at the expense of poor Felipe Nasr. And they said, Sauber, if you can't get a drive there, then what are you doing in Formula 1? And that's it for the drivers lineup. I'll just show you the differences from 2016 into 2017. World champion Nico Rosberg. As we all know, unless you've been living under a rock for the winter, you know that he has retired. He will not be on the grid. Due to the new regulations, Formula 1 cars will be more than 3 seconds faster after an overhaul of aerodynamics and tyre rules. Now, as I told you, the shark fin, more aerodynamically sound. With Ferrari, they've got the bigger air ducts as well and the side pods. And of course, the tyres, thicker, more grip. The theory is with Pirelli, they'll go more than 3 seconds faster. Of course, as I've said, Manor or Manor Marussia or Marussia, whichever you want to call it, but Manor have collapsed after falling into administration, meaning there will only be 20 cars on the grid. not 22. Now this one, Paddy Lowe has left Mercedes and is expected to join Williams. Now I'm getting my information off Sky Sports, and by the way, I do not own all, I've got nothing to do with Sky or Sky Sports whatsoever. I'm just getting this off their website. But Paddy Lowe has left Mercedes, expected to join Williams. If you want to know more about that, then obviously go to Sky Sports website. As a result, Pat Simmons has left Williams. Renault's team principal, Frederick Vasseur, has left Renault after just 1 year as team principal. Again, just like with Paddy Lowe and Pat Simmons with Mercedes and Williams, that's off Sky Sports. So I do not know much about these coming and goings out of teams, but after just 1 year as team principal, maybe there's something more into that, maybe there's not, maybe his contract ran out, just have to look into that. As I said, Jenson Button is the reserve driver for McLaren, but for the first time in 17 years, Jenson Button is not on the grid. Now for me, that is pretty gutting. Me and all my friends and family that watch F1, we all loved Jenson Button. He's a brilliant driver. He will be a great loss to Formula 1. The engine token system has been removed, allowing unrestricted development. What can you say about that? No restrictions on development. So, I don't know, this is why Sauber may prove me wrong, because if their development is greater than, say, Toro Rosso, Sauber's, you may see Sauber finishing ahead of Toro Rosso. Now, I don't know about the engine token system properly, but you decide for yourself and interpret it that how you want to. And with that, the FIA has clamped down on the stockpiling of engine elements by teams. Now we all know about Lewis Hamilton's engine problems of last season. The biggest one was when his engine blew up in Malaysia when he was leading the race. He had so many engine changes, it was unbelievable. So I believe the FIA is clamping down on that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's my interpretation, And that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will try and do a video review of the very first testing session tomorrow, or Tuesday, but I will have to get more information on the test. So with that, I hope you enjoy the new season, and I will catch you in another video sometime soon. Thanks guys, see you later.